looking at output devices, it's also an area which is really kind of interesting and ripe for innovation. And in what ways, we looked at like in input devices, innovative new ways in which we're getting information into computers, particularly the brain interface unit. But are there any innovative ways in which we're getting information out of computers? So, the traditional ways that we get information out of computers would be like speakers, printers, and display devices or monitors. And, how could we create on that? Are there other ways we could get information from computers? For instance, could we get information tactily from computers in a tactile fashion? Would there be some way that we could have a little computer signal something to us just through touch or feel, which might be an interesting thing for people who have visual impairments or auditory impairments, or it just could be interesting, right? Like we wear some sort of suit and get a visual feel for something. So what ways? That's the question that's interesting to me. What ways could we innovate with output devices? And one of the things that's really developed recently, right here, you're looking at a head-up display or helmet-mounted display system. And head-up display, helmet-mounted display system has been used in the military for a while. So if you go to Wikipedia and look for a head-up display, you'll get information about head-up displays. And the Apache helicopter here, they have a helmet-mounted display, head-up display. So here's a pilot, right, where he's getting some information on that little screen. So sometimes you'll hear this referred to as helmet-mounted display or head-up display. And there's some interesting images out there. So here's like a head-up display, helmet-mounted display in a C-130. And this is the co-pilot's view where you're seeing some flight information right there, just sort of, I don't know if that's on the helmet screen or on the windshield or what. But that's even starting to make its way into cars and things like that we use. Like here is, I don't know, 1994 Pontiac Bonneville head-up display where it shows you 47 miles per hour. 1994. Or here is a BMW showing you some directions and your speed and how far until you make a left on which street. And here's the Prius, again, giving you some directions right on the screen. So this is a Prius giving you a head-up display. So that's kind of interesting. And the most interesting development with these sort of head-up displays is with Google Glass. And so Google Glass is like, Google is a pretty amazing tech company and an innovator and a definite industry leader. And they've come out with this idea that everybody could have one of these helmet-mounted displays or head-up displays, and we could go through the world wearing it, interacting with it. And for me, the question is why? why would I want to wear this device on my head? And of course, it's going to be a huge cultural shift just to kind of get used to. I could have a computer here that I'm interfacing with. And I think what we'll see is this will be used first and foremost in industrial applications. Surgeons are already using this to train other surgeons how to do what they do. And for any type of like training where you're learning how to manipulate physical devices, you could record a video and see the video from the point of view of, because you're wearing the camera basically right here on your forehead, you can see the video from the point of view of whoever is doing the manipulation. So this is great for teaching students surgery, where the surgeon doing the surgery is actually doing the surgery and all of the students can be watching on a screen exactly what he's doing from his point of view or her point of view. Or, it'd be great for auto shop class, where an instructor might want to make videos about how to work on an engine. Or it would have been great if when I was showing you the inside of the computer, the system unit, the motherboard, and the RAM and all of that, and the CPU, if I'd had that on, because that would have been holding the camera steady, and wherever I looked, you would have been seeing what I was seeing. So that's one of the uses for Google Glass. And I think you'll probably see this used in industry first when people are doing things like trainings and stuff like that. But who the heck knows? If you come to Google and search for Google Glass and what's it for, right? You could take pictures. You could say, hey, take a picture. And so whatever you're doing, it'll take a picture. The interesting thing about this picture is to think that the dad is wearing the Google Glass right there. Or you could say, hey, record what I'm seeing. And so, you could be the guy on the stage, the ballerina, or I don't know, what's a male ballet dancer called? that guy, and you could record video of whatever you're seeing, or you could share live what you're seeing, right? So you could broadcast live whatever it is you're seeing, or you could have directions right in front of you, sort of like in the car or those helmet-mounted displays where it's giving you directions. I don't know, kind of a bummer for the natural environment, I think. I'm not quite enjoying the scenic panorama of this mountain as much with a map on overlaid on top of it. You could send messages to people by speaking, so that's something else, as opposed to maybe, just actually talking to them. You could ask it questions, right, as you're out and about, and you'll get some answers. So it's using the voice recognition system again, which we saw at Google. This is one of the most interesting things, right? You could say, like you're in a foreign country and you're like, how do I say half a pound in Chinese? And it'll say bon bang. And so you say bon bang, and hopefully they understand you. So it'll translate your voice. I think that's pretty phenomenal. And as technology progresses, will we reach a point where I could speak English and then it'll broadcast in a foreign language, and they'll speak the foreign language back, and they'll translate to English. So we'll all be walking around with our own personal translator attached to us. I think that'll be kind of neat. It'll also give you information as you're like cruising through the airport. Your plane is leaving in 3 minutes, right? Answers without having to ask is what they call that. Strong and light, and it's evolutionary design. And you got different colors, and this is what it looks like and how to get one. And here you can see a video about how it works. Here's somebody in a balloon just recording themselves in a balloon from their point of view. So that's Google Glass, another example of head-up displays or helmet-mounted displays, And it's really kind of a version of augmented reality. So augmented reality is taking the reality that's before us and overlaying it with something. I like to think of it actually, I like the phrase reality overlays. I like that phrase a little bit better. But augmented reality is taking reality and overlaying it with some digital information. And that's different from virtual reality, which is just creating all digital reality, which you drop into, right? And it's 100% all digital. You're not actually, overlaying digital on the real world, which would be augmented or reality overlay. In virtual reality, it's just 100%, digital. So that's a little bit of information about reality overlays, or whatever you want to call it, augmented reality, helmet-mounted displays, head-up displays, and it's kind of an interesting output device, which we're starting to see in the consumer marketplace. Used to only be in the military, and we're starting to see it in cars and glasses that we could wear. I guess the last thing to say about that, which is interesting, is it's you never know when you're going to be recorded. Somebody might have glasses on, and they are glasses that record movies. So Google Glass isn't the only pair of glasses out there that does that. They're the most common, but there are also other manufacturers of glasses that you wear them and they record movies. Or when people have their iPhones, right? They could have their iPhone recording and you don't even know it. So you never know when you're being recorded these days, and that's just something to bring into awareness. All right, those are reality overlays, augmented reality, head-up displays, helmet-mounted displays. That's what all that stuff is. Kind of a cool output device that's coming more into the mainstream.